Have I got a check? I was looking at this, it doesn't quite work. Okay, let's drop back and come round. I'm looking at a check takes check. I think this works. That's a heck of a puzzle rush, isn't it? That is a heck of a finish, but that's what you get when you play lots and lots of puzzle rush. Right, I'm just going to join this Chess960 Arena on chess.com. Okay, king side is on the right as we look. Now let's go forward. I'm going to have to play this move at some point to release the queen. Okay, knight up. If this bishop moves, we can castle queen side at least. So we can throw in a check. Blocks it. Okay, let's just play a pawn up. Maybe knight up here. Wow, that's a bit bold. Okay. I've got the option to go back. Okay, comes forward, so let's hit the bishop. The knight's adequately supported. The bishop goes back, we have a check to hit the king and rook. That's exactly what he's done, so we'll take the rook. Alright, let's push up now. It's a bit risky to pin the knight there. I'm going to castle and try and step over. So obviously his queen's eyeing this pawn. So I'll get the rook across. Now I could play a bishop up, but I think that looks a bit risky as well. Pawn up to hit the rook. So I've got queen up. Rook down, you get a check maybe. If rook down, I've got a check. If he goes back, I can maybe grab the pawn. Or he goes back with a knight and he gets completely bogged down. Other plan, of course, will be to simply double the rooks up. Maybe f3 is a good move to stop the knight coming forward. So he has indeed gone for this, so check. He goes with the knight, but now he's really bogged down. I just have to work out a plan. I think bishop up to hit the rook looks strong. Comes forward. It's looking pretty bleak for black now. If I get to open the file, it unleashes both of the rooks, of course. So he comes forward. Okay, so let's go up and hit the rook again. I've got a queen check there. He can block with a rook. It's simpler just to take. Now just make sure I don't get my queen trapped, of course. I think rook up looks pretty deadly. The queen's got nice squares now. I'm threatening checking just to win the bishop. Okay, that's a decent move, is it? Actually no, I can just take. If he takes, he loses the queen. So that's a good win to start the tournament. Right, the king side is on the right as we look. I just have to move the queen and I can castle. Now this is dangerous, is it? No, I'll stop his bishop coming out. So knight up. So stop the knight coming forward. It prepares d4 as well. Release the other bishop. The knight's got a nice square in the middle. I'll put that there now because I've got two target squares. So now he comes across. So I'm going to shift the queen so it's got the option to move, option to castle. Right, get castled, get the king moved. Right, get the queen off the file so the knight's got a nice square. You might have to try and block here. Okay, doesn't. Let's go forward then. If he takes, he takes. The bishop supports the pawn. So I'm threatening to push potentially. So now I'll release the bishop. There's a hit on the pawn, but his queen is really boxed in. Okay, that's a good move. Can I keep my pawn? I go to either square, but I can't actually keep the pawn unless I sack. How do I want to play this? I think I'll give him that pawn and just move across. Depends if he goes with queen or knight. I want to look to push in the middle if I can. I mustn't drop the queen here, I'm aware the bishop covers. Well, does my opponent disconnect and reconnecting there? He just disconnected, reconnected. He might have an internet issue. Okay, if I push up I actually lose the bishop. But I can grab this pawn now, I think. He might have a move to get the queen back, hit them both, so we might trade queens here. Yeah, queen back, I think I'm just going to take and drop the bishop back. Oh, he's trying to trap it in, wow. Actually no, that's just on his rook. Now I'm able to push because I'm hitting the queen. Now he trades. I think queen across, threatening mate. Okay, check. So now I think I've got rook up to hit the queen. Have I got anything better? I don't see it. Oh, he just missed that I hit his queen. So he comes forward. Now his rook can't actually move there, so I think bishop in he's got knight can take. Okay, my rook is hanging. Let's put the rook forward and just look to take here. Or pressure at least. Bishop up is a move. So he hits the queen. To go forward, hit the pawn, threaten a check. If I check and then round the back would be a pretty neat mate. Okay, just drop the rook back. I'm getting a little bit short of time actually, aren't I? A little bit short of time here. So he's taken. Yeah, go with the pawn, not the knight. Well, that's a free knight. Okay, he just resigns, that's a good win. Right, the king is all the way over here, the king's side is on the left. But as a decent starter you want to try and move the bishops, I think. I'm just going to go one square as well. Bishop's got a nice square. Let's get the bishop out and do the same on this side. I could maybe go in the middle. Might stop that knight coming forward. Might cover this square. Bishop up. Well, that's ambitious. Let's hit the queen. So he blocks it. So now I think I can push, and if the knight moves I think I can push again. Oops. Nearly made a mess there. That's a good move he's found. I'm just going to push and let him take if he wishes. So bishop up again, gets a nice natural square. Need to move the queen and the knight, then I can castle on the king's side. So bishop up. Right, now I'll get the knight forward. I think I'll take with a rook, so I'm not going to castle the other side. Right, get the queen across. Knight in, I'm not sure that actually threatens anything. So maybe stops f5. Okay, let's bring the queen up. He's got no knight check, so we'll trade. Get a pawn, hit another pawn. Knight can come back more centralised now. There's a potential hit on the rook, but this move really stops it, I think. That's what he does. So knight over. Covers this square, so now f6 is more playable. Yes, f6. He might try grabbing the pawn, he might run the risk of getting his knight trapped. Okay, I'll take. I think I'm going to castle as well and just get the other rook active. Hold on, he's got an internet as well. Remember, offline. Now hopefully he can still play the game out, because he's played very, very well for his rating. He really has. It should be noted though, a lot of players can be very underrated when they play Chess960 because they don't play it that often. So it's possible to be very underrated. Right, 2000s, he could be much higher than that in terms of blitz. Right, I'll release the bishop. King's side is on the left. We just need to move the knight and we can castle. Now pawn up is risky. He can take it. If he takes, I think knight up. If he doesn't, then I think maybe this knight up. He does play forward, so I'll bring the knight forward, pressure the pawn, line up castling. Right, so I've got castling out of the way. So support the pawn, maybe push here next. He comes up, I think I'll just trade. Keep this knight where it is, I could move it. Okay, I'm looking at knight here with an idea of bishop up. Is bishop up playable? He just pushes. Yeah, it's a nuisance move, isn't it? So I'm going to play it. Opens up everything. In fact, knight over might be a good move here. His rook has to shift really then. And he can't just castle. So he's got to shift his rook really, I think, there. He's done that. Right, queen across to support the bishop and knight. Now, this move might trap my knight. Okay, he comes forward. I think I've got bishop in here. Hit the rook again. Maybe he has to go back. Queen supports the knight. There's a queen up, so he might have to take. I'm threatening mate. He goes across. So if he takes, I've got an option to take there. Oh. Wow, he blocked the mate and then just walked into it. It's so easy to do in Chess960, that really is. It's so easy to do. Right, king's side is on the right, but the king's over here. Just play a gentle move to start, and then it's likely we'll play this. So queen side castling is a probable here. Now, is the knight a threat there? It could be. You know what, I'm going to just get rid of that knight and take. Well, let's go up the middle. Pre-move in case he takes. Now, queen up could be a nuisance. Actually, I'm going to push there. I'm looking at queen up to put pressure on this pawn. There's no immediate threat, but it puts pressure on. He plays queen up. Maybe I've got knight up here. Yeah, let's develop. So if he takes, I can still take here. And once I move the queen, I can castle, at least queen side. Maybe I've got knight up here next as well, trade knight for bishop, but then I'm giving up a pawn. So he does take. It's got to be the bishop, I think. If he comes up, I'll just trade. Maybe queen development's playable. Yeah, let's play the queen up. Mustn't pre-move in case he does something silly like take with a queen first, then you take with a knight. That's why I'm not pre-moving there. He does it correctly, so I'll take. So we've got an equal material game. I just want to castle now and develop. That's what my opponent's done. Actually, I think I'm going to push here now he's castled. I've got a knight on a good square, and the rook's already on a good square. I guess he might ignore this. He does take, okay. As long as I can move this knight somewhere so I'm not losing it. Same with this one. I might just stick rook across. Plays knight up. Right, rook across. This knight, I'm guessing, is going to have to drop back because there's no real useful squares going forward. He's got a pretty solid position. He just has to work out a plan how to develop, so do I. But he's got a solid position though. In fact, I'm looking at maybe rook up here. Okay. Rook up with a view of knight coming across to trade and then take back with the rook. Maybe I've got rook over here. Ah, he wants rook across. I think that's what he wants, rook across. So I might have to drop the knight down and trade here. Yeah, knight back, trade the rooks and then king across, just so I don't allow him to come in. I can actually move the rook there. I think I'll play up. The knight covers this square, so I can maybe move the king this way. Maybe this pawn as well. So he now hits the knight. Okay, could get a little tricky this now. I've given him this square. I think knight over to hit the rook. Now does he stay on this row? He does. So try and get the open file. Again, king across so you can sidestep could be useful here. Oh, he's nearly out of time. He's got 18 seconds, so I can take it a little bit carefully. So do I go forward or backwards? Rook check, king up, knight forward. Knight could just go forward. Yeah, let's just play knight forward. If he takes, I'm hitting his knight. He just grabs the pawn. Well, let's throw in a check. King across, so I've got this open square. I'll definitely take there. Knight up. He comes forward. So let's put the king outside. Hit the rook and drop back. Can't play pawn up, so let's drop back. He's only got 3 seconds, I'm aware of that. So let's push. If he takes, he hangs a knight, which he's done. So that's another good win. He played very well though. Right, the king's here. King's side is on the right. So let's release the bishop first. I mean, I could try and be cheeky and play queen up, but that seems a bit silly. Let's just play a knight up. Yeah, he did block it anyway. So go forward. Now queen up is definitely a move. Okay. Put the bishop on a square it would normally like to go on. So now I want to try and get the queen here, if that bishop wanders off, for instance. Doesn't yet. Alright, let's push the pawn and release the bishop so we can get on this diagonal if necessary. Say he plays the queen up. Right, plays bishop right over. Okay, I'm just going to develop and hit the pawn. I'd be very happy for him to take the knight. He plays queen up. Well, let's bring the knight up. Pressure on the pawn, but with a view to coming here. Then maybe rerouting. Just always got to be watchful for this threat. There is a potential mate threat there. Oh, he comes forward immediately. It's a knight forward. I don't think he'll trade here. He should really keep his bishop. Oh, he takes. Wow. Okay, now I've got an open rook. The bishop's got a nice square to develop too. As soon as the bishop moves, I can castle kingside if I wish. So let's get the bishop up. And I might just castle kingside and put the king on this side. Okay, there is threats there, but... there's also a neat little knight check here, and I can trade knight for bishop. It's whether I get my bishop trapped with a move like this. That move is still playable. Knight check. He takes and messes his pawn structure up. I take. Knight blocks I just trade. Pawn up I can just take. So I'm going to go for that. If pawn up I can just take. Okay, I can just take that way. Now I'll grab this pawn. There's rook's trapped. Oh, have I blundered? Oh, blimey, I've blundered. It isn't trapped. He had a nice tactic there. Wow, I just clean blundered it. He'd seen it. Well done. Now, can he stop me getting the queen active? See, now his king's come forward. I want to get here, but not while his queen's there, so maybe here. Actually, queen here, get on the light square. Obviously, after that blunder, I'm in trouble in this game now. What is it? I'm a pawn for a piece down. Okay, that's a good move. I'm going to let him do the taking and undouble my pawns. I've got to get this rook active. Actually hit the knight so the king can't easily run away. I'm threatening check to win the knight. Okay, so I can pick up... Oh, can I? Again, I still can't. Wow, very tricky. If I check and he moves, he's then got a mate threat. Wow. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I'm miles up on the clock, so I'm going to go with this. I'm well up on time. I might be able to flag him. I think it's clearly my best bet here. Okay, let's just hit the pawn and protect another pawn. I don't see the mate threat against me. He's maybe going for the pawn, so let's push up. Knight check I can just sidestep. So pawn up. Can't take there because he had a knight check. Now I can take. Okay, just push. Excellent, got there in the end, but didn't he play a good game? Well done. I suspect he's comfortably a stronger player than that in Blitz. Right, the king is here. Again, both bishops on the side, so you generally want to try and release your bishops. Again, this is risky. Very risky to bring a rook out early on. I mean, there is a nuisance move. I'm threatening mate actually, aren't I? That's easy to miss. Wow, he did see it, but how easy is that to miss? So again, there's a threat of queen check. If he takes, I can just take the rook and he can't castle. Okay, I'll just take. So check. If blocks, I can grab a pawn. He goes across. How do I create something here? Let's bring a knight up. Now I can castle queenside. Yeah, he should be bringing the bishop up really. Wow. So he's gonna potentially let me get in. Yeah, I want to keep active. Get the king. Actually, knight over, hit the bishop. See, I'd like him to take. I don't think he will. Okay, so I can take. There's a rook across. Right, king over. Knight up. I'm just going to bring the bishop up so I can get it active. Knight across. So knight down and potentially here to hit the pawn and hit the bishop. So hit the bishop, hit the pawn. There's a threat there. Okay, he can't, well, he might get away with the queen, but there is a threat here. So just take. Oh, and I've done it again. I just missed it. Wow, I missed it again. Now I've got rook check or queen check. But two blunders. Wow, let's go with the queen. Yeah, this game has to be a loss. Just completely blundered a piece for nothing. This place should be too good to miss this chance. Can I get away with pawn up there? Queen check across, check up. He picks up the rook when I get his rook. No, I can't. If he goes across, I have to trade. Oh, he can just take. Wow. My rook hangs. Or can he? Yeah, I think he can still play queen across there. Oh no, he can't. His rook hangs. So he plays rook up. So I can check and take. Right, now I've got the piece back. If I get a chance to get the queens off, I'll take it. What? So I can't, how do I stop a mate threat there? I take this way and block. So now the only threat is the diagonal. I'm going to give him that pawn. I've just got to cut this diagonal somehow. He's got that square, that's the problem. How on earth do I protect that? Let's push. I'm going to run the king this way. Well, have I really blundered it? Maybe. I might have blundered it again. I'm a minute down on the clock as well. He can't move his bishop though. I want him to take with a queen there, so now there's a threat. Wow, he's just walked right into it. He didn't need to do that. Oh, have I missed it again? Oh, you're kidding me. Oops, I meant to resign there. Well done, I just walked right into that. I was aware my time was virtually out. Right, let's just go through the middle, release the bishop. But the knight's got a nice square behind the pawn. Again, I've got another opponent disconnecting. He has to move in 2 seconds or it's going to abort. Again, he's reconnected, but it's too late. Next match. Right, you can actually castle immediately there. Okay, hit the queen. You can just castle there, king and rook next to each other. He comes up, so let's threaten to hit the knight, which is pinned. He can do the same with me here, of course, so... pawn up, I'm still threatening to push. Again, it's easy to forget a simple move like that. In fact, he has done, he's missed it. Or he can't stop it. So he comes forward. Now the check is covered, there's no mate threat. So I'll take. He might have missed my bishop there and thought he had a mate chance. Okay, now I'll just castle. Just logical development, get the knight up, get the queen out of harm's way. Maybe even pawn up is a good way to develop the queen here. Right, so he's going all in, he figures he's got not much to lose. So I'm going to try and open this up. Right, open up the pressure on the king, so queen up is a threat. He can't block with a bishop, he can block with a pawn, but not the bishop, because I can take the bishop. Right, he's missed that. I just take it, still threaten mate. If he blocked with a pawn, I couldn't do that. So again, I can take. Is it worth a sack? I can just grab the pawn, I think, just keep it simple. Up lots of material, so I don't take silly risks. Just develop the knight. Actually, maybe I should just take now and really simplify. I'm up lots and lots, so just simplify it all. Pawn supports the knight. Bishop. Let's keep the pressure on the pawn. The knight's going to come forward. He castles. Okay, put the knight forward, hit the rook. With a check or a check there. So check and back. Let's put the pawn forward, then the bishop does support it. It might get trapped. Might get trapped here. Is there a way to trick him? There is. If he takes there, there's a knight check. So he's missed it. That's a nice little puzzle rush. Okay, let's just push forward. Could have just taken the rook, couldn't I? Just take it out, missed that last move. That's a good win. Right, the king is here. King side is the left as we look, so queen and knight need to move in order to castle king side. I can actually castle queen side now, I think. I might be wrong, but I think I can. Okay, just try and get some centre ground without allowing him in too easily. I'm going to try and get the queen active here and give him something to think about. He might tie his pieces down even though there's no immediate threat. Might just bog his pieces down a little bit. So if the knight moves, the pawn falls. If the knight, for instance, comes down, just gives you something to think about. So he's moved his rook, so he can't castle that side. To stop the knight coming down to harass the queen. If the bishop up, then I'll drop back. Where to is the question. I think right back, and I can always block if he finds a way to attack. Right now I'm going to castle. Right, my bishop's been released. Knight in, hit the pawn, he pushes. Let's just go up one. I might look to go this way now. Okay, I think I can take and trade here. Should win a pawn if I take the queen. The only trouble is, this bishop on the diagonal, does it get one of these? Still got, oh, I can trade one of them off, so that gets rid of that problem. Now I've got knight over to hit two different pawns. Again, it might get trapped though, that's the only concern there, but hit the bishop with a tempo, bishop supports the knight. Right, now I'll go in and hit the two pawns. Now the only question is, does it get the knight trapped? I'll trade the bishop first. So now hit the bishop and look to trade that as well. Again, if rook across there's a check there, the other rook across the bishop falls, so you can't just hit the knight. King up, now he can. So I'll develop my bishop first and look to take next move. He's holding on pretty well though, he's doing well. So take. Rook across looks fine and go forward. Okay. I don't like this move, I think I have to play it. Can I get bishop up and round? Okay, that gives me an extra move. So now I can drop the bishop back to support the pawn, I hope. Actually I can go forward here. Let's just go forward. I might sack the pawn here for a counterplay for activity. Oops. He had a knight check there. He's playing very, very well, he's doing well. To get this rook back so I can challenge his rook, I'll go on the open file. Right, so go for this file. I'm going to try and come here and pressure this pawn and this one. So pressure the pawn. Whoa, he's missed it. So I can just take with a check. I can take with a bishop, which looks strong. If his rook moves, I've got a discovered check, maybe. Yeah, let's go with the bishop. If he blocks with a rook, I can just trade rooks and drop back. Otherwise, I'm threatening to take with a discovered check. But now I've got a second pawn, I should be winning. He's already got 20 seconds left. So he's got a check. I think I can just take there. Oh, I can't take. Wow, blundered. Okay, I can go up, but I can take back with a check. So I think bishop here now. King up looks playable. Just try not to blunder a mate. And try and push the pawn. Okay, all I'm concerned about here is not blundering a checkmate. Alright, I'm definitely winning now. There's nothing he can do really now. That's a good win, but again, he did very well. Well done. What have we got left? 18 minutes. Right, the king is here. Again, you can just castle immediately when king and rook are next to each other. So I think something like this might be a starting move, yeah. Oops, I missed that. There's no actual serious threat, I don't think. So let's just develop the bishop. So if he moves his pawn now, I'm going to trade bishops. Okay, I'll push. There is a threat if he can somehow get forward. So take. No, knight up feels wrong. Let's bring this knight up and try and maybe hit the queen. So now he's got a check threat. I take though and everything's covered, I think. No, with it being a potential danger, I'll just get rid of that. So the question is knight across worth playing? Let's put the knight forward and drop it back. So there's pressure on the pawn for an immediate threat. If he comes forward, I think I'm going to drop back. So it just restricts the queen a little bit, at least for one move. Okay. Now, that looks a bit dubious. So again, just develop a knight, try and come right across the board. So he's got this annoying bishop move. So knight down and maybe knight up. Knight out wide, is that a threat? I'm not sure. Knight in. Not sure if that's a threat or not, I'm just going to ignore it for now. The question is, do I take with this pawn or this pawn if he takes? He doesn't take. So again, knight over is playable. I'm going to develop the queen. So he does come in. So his knight, no, it's not quite playable just yet. Knight in takes, takes. Let's just move the pawn. He has got a fork there. Okay, now it's playable, is it? Gain a pawn, lose a knight, gain a knight, lose a rook. Again, no, it isn't. Actually, he's given me knight up with a check there now. Knight in, and I can take. Again, it's a question of, does he trap my knight if I go for a check? Answer is no, so let's go for it. I'm expecting him to come up there. If a castle could be in trouble. Okay, I think the knight's better coming back over. Maybe here now, actually. Now it's easier to come in and trade. Right, push the pawn. Push this pawn to finally release my bishop. Yeah, if he queen checks I can block with the bishop. Okay, I can hit the bishop and the rook there. Again, if he queen checks I block with the bishop. Okay, there is no queen check because of his bishop. Right, get on a dark square, hit the pawn. Check, I think I can just sidestep. Maybe I can put the rook actually on the file so he can't check before he does the same. He's played a4. Rook across to cover this square and challenge this side. Right, now go there and challenge this side. It's going to be tough to win this though. Okay, I'm going to try and trade queens. I'm still a pawn down, an exchange up but a pawn down. If I get the queens off it'll be easier to play with less risk. I'm going to take another risk here. I'm going to try and open this up. I've given him a check. I think the king can move. Then another queen check I can block with a queen. Okay, queen there anyway. Just got to try and not drop this. Now, this is where I might go. This pawn is being hit as well. We're almost level on the time now. It covers it. So again, give him something to think about. If the pawn moves and this pawn hangs. Have I got a check? I was looking at this, it doesn't quite work. Okay, let's drop back and come round. I'm looking at a check takes check. I think this works. That's a heck of a puzzle rush, isn't it? That is a heck of a finish, but that's what you get when you play lots and lots of puzzle rush. That was a heck of a finish. Right, the king's here, but the king's side is on the right. I'm just releasing a bishop there, but there's no knight to go behind it. Let's bring this knight up, hit the pawn. Okay, bishop up because I want to bring this pawn up. Challenge that. Right, pawn up. So my other bishop is free to move. Okay, logical development. Pawn may come, I'll just trade. Okay, goes back. I'm going to give this bishop a square. Queen up, I can castle queen side now. Right, knight up doesn't quite work. Okay, let's hit the bishop. It's a bit of a nuisance, so we'll hit the bishop. I've given him an idea like this so he can win a pawn here, I think. Okay, he doesn't see it. Yeah, knight up. I'm going to castle queen side now, I'm not going king side. Okay, he sees it that time, so let's castle. Bring the pawn in. I'm hitting his pawn. Otherwise I'm just going to try and gain centre control here. King of crosser, get off the diagonal. Okay, grab the pawn. I've given him this, haven't I? Loose piece. That's a blunder. That's a bad blunder. And he sees that as well. Wow, so I'm bust here. I mean, I should be completely lost here now. I'm going to just try and trade a rook just to try and simplify the position. Okay, he's being ambitious there. So I'll keep it on the board. I want the king across. Okay. Now I've got to check. This rook is in trouble. He might have to give me the exchange here. He might get ambitious and try and grab the pawn, then I just come back across. Bishop square is covered, but now he doesn't have the option to do rook takes bishop. So I think that was a mistake grabbing the pawn. I need to use my time a bit more, don't I? Got 2 minutes, I'm well up on time. It comes forward, so grab the rook. Comes forward. I could push up, just give him the exchange. But at least I'm comfortable in the game now. If he takes, I'll take with a bishop. So we pressure the pawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns each, equal material. His pawn's under threat, his pawn's under threat. My king looks safe. Doesn't mean it is, but it looks safe. Knight over a take. Knight down is an issue. So take. Knight down. I think I'm safe to take here. Right, rook across, but again he's got rook down, hasn't he? Again, that's a nuisance. I've got check and down maybe. So queen down here. Again, I need the king across so I can tuck it away. Or maybe again just get queens off the board. I'm a pawn up now. So he goes after the pawn. I think it's more important to get the queen off the board than just target this pawn. So he's still going for it. Okay, I'm going to give him that pawn and bring the rook right back. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. I could be in trouble here. I might have really blundered here. If I get the knight for the rook, that'll be a good result here, I think. So can he play this? Oh, he just takes. I've missed it. Wow, I've just completely blundered. He might take with a knight here. Oh, he shouldn't have done that. He should have took with a knight. Okay. Yeah, if he took with a knight there, I think he had the game won. He might still have the game won. Knight there is mate, isn't it? I can't get out. Yes. Checkmate. I've walked into it. Wow. Bishop covers the square. Check and I come up this way. Now I've got to use my time. I'm up 20 seconds. That's a fork. Right, he's out of time, that's a good win, but he played really well there, he really did. What have we got left? 5 minutes. Right, king's here, queen side is on the left. So pawn up and you lose the rook, so I need knight up first. So knight up, pawn up, then bishop up is what I'm going to look at. Yep, I think my opponent's going to do exactly the same thing. Pawn up, bishop. Actually, just to make sure there's no silly nonsense discoveries. The problem is, how do you shift this bishop? Well, my opponent goes the other side casting. So I'll prepare to push forward. Okay, hit the knight. He can't come either of the squares forward, he's got to go back. So he's completely boxed in. Let's go this way. I'm actually just trying to push this pawn so I can release the bishop. Queen up actually is interesting here to look at this square. I'm just going to move it one to cover the knight coming forward. Bishop up, and I'm still protecting this. Okay, so my knight's still got control here. No, queen up doesn't look right. Counter that issue. Right, knight up. So he's looking at a discovery on my rook, but I don't mind trading there. I'm just going to castle, but I'm quite happy to give him the bishop for the rook. Right, so he can have the rook. So knight is a move again here. Okay, he shouldn't have traded there, I don't think. I think I'll support that pawn. Whoa. Okay, I'm looking at sacking here. Take, take, take. Doesn't quite work. Let's push the pawn. Right, now it might get interesting. I'm going to go with the bishop first because there's a potential check if he takes the pawn. So if he grabs the pawn, I've got a check. Well, as this pawn is loose, and then I support my pawn. So I'll pick the rook up. Ooh, he's lucky that I don't have it that way as well. Right, now get the queen in. Support my knight. So he's dropped knight back. So queen up to hit the rook. Knight comes over, I just take. So he plays rook across. I don't really want to play the pawn here. That's why I'm just hesitating a little bit. I think I have to though, but yeah, I think I have to. I don't want to mess all this up. Okay, hit the pawn, prepare the knight to come across here. Then obviously just take back, and I've got a wonderful pawn wall. This will be my last game. I think there's only a minute 50 left, so there's no point playing another game after this. So he hits the queen again. Okay, so if queen comes in, yeah, it can't be attacked by this knight, and I am attacking that knight. If he comes forward, I really don't mind. I'm going to look to bring the knight across here. So there's a mate threat. If he takes, I get to hit his knight. He challenges it. So he's just given me a check. Check, rook blocks, check. So check here next. Then I can take the knight and the pawn maybe. In fact, I've got a check here, haven't I? Wow, I missed that. I might have had that previously. But that's the 1 minute to go warning. I hope I've got time to win this before the clock runs out. I'm going to have to quicken up. Yeah, I'm going to have to play fast here, otherwise the time's going to run out. Oh, that's definitely a mistake. Now I've got lots of time to win this, have I? There's only 20 seconds of the event left. Wow, just fitted it in with 2 seconds to go. 2 seconds to go, just fitted it in, so I came second overall. What's that? 12 wins and the 1 loss. My opponent got 13 wins and no losses. So very well done there. Sorry, the player who came first. So pretty good event. That's a pretty decent event.